Admiral Zexathara had conquered 47 star systems in her illustrious career. She had witnessed the fall of the mighty Carathian Federation, watched the proud Villani Empire crumble beneath her fleet's plasma cannons, and seen countless species kneel before the unstoppable might of the hegemony. But never, not once in her 3 centuries of warfare, had she encountered a response quite like this. The human delegate sat across from her in the sterile conference chamber aboard her flagship, wearing what could only be described as an infuriating smile. Captain Sarah Chen, according to the dossier representing the United Earth Coalition. She looked impossibly young by hegemony standards, her dark hair pulled back in a simple ponytail, wearing a basic military uniform that seemed almost quaint compared to Zexathara's ornate ceremonial armor. "Let me ensure I understand your position correctly," Zexathara said, her forearms gesturing with practiced authority. "Your species has existed in space for barely 2 centuries. You control exactly 1 star system. Your technology is primitive by our standards. Your population numbers in the mere billions." She leaned forward, her crystalline eyes gleaming. "And yet, when offered the honor of peaceful integration into our empire, the same offer that has been graciously accepted by 637 other species, you decline?" Captain Chen's smile widened. "That's right. You realize the alternative is total annihilation?" "We figured that might be the case." Zexathara studied the human carefully. In her experience, there were typically 2 types of species that refused hegemony rule. The foolishly proud ones who ranted and threatened until the plasma cannons reduced their worlds to glass, and the genuinely terrifying ones who made such refusal unnecessary by simply destroying her fleets outright. Humans, however, seem to fit neither category. "Your confidence is puzzling," Zexathara admitted. "Our intelligence reports indicate that your entire military consists of fewer than 10,000 vessels. We have brought 50,000 ships to your system alone. Our smallest frigates outmass your largest dreadnoughts. A single one of our assault troops could overpower a dozen of your soldiers." She paused. "What exactly do you believe gives you the capability to resist us?" Captain Chen tilted her head thoughtfully. "Well, Admiral, that's an interesting question. See, you're absolutely right about all those facts. Your ships are bigger, your weapons are stronger, your soldiers are tougher. By every logical metric, we should surrender immediately." "Then why don't you?" "Because," Chen said, her smile taking on an almost predatory quality. "You've made one tiny miscalculation." "Which is?" "You assumed we'd fight you the way everyone else has." Before Zexathara could respond, her communications officer's panicked voice crackled through the chamber. "Admiral, emergency transmission from the fleet." "What is it?" "Ma'am, we're detecting massive energy signatures throughout the system. They're everywhere." Zexathara's blood chilled. "Define everywhere." "Every asteroid, Admiral. Every moon, every space station, every piece of debris larger than a shuttle. They're all lighting up." Captain Chen checked her watch, an archaic, mechanical device that somehow seemed perfectly appropriate. "Right on schedule." "What have you done?" Zexathara demanded. "Nothing dramatic," Chen replied conversationally. "See, when we first detected your empire expanding in our direction about 50 years ago, we had a choice. We could build a massive military to fight you conventionally, which seemed expensive and pointless given your obvious advantages. Or," the ship shuddered. "Then again, harder. Or we could remember that humans have always been really, really good at making things explode." Zexathara's tactical display lit up like a festival of destruction. Across the solar system, every piece of matter larger than a basketball was detonating in carefully coordinated sequence. The asteroid belt became an expanding sphere of superheated plasma. The outer planets' moons cracked like eggs, their cores revealed to be massive fusion bombs. Space stations that had appeared to be simple mining platforms unveiled themselves as gigantic missile platforms, each one launching thousands of projectiles. "You've turned your entire system into a weapon," Zexathara breathed. "Took us 47 years to hollow out all those asteroids," Chen said proudly. "Amazing what you can accomplish when your entire species commits to a single project." We call it the solar shell defense system. Every rock, every chunk of ice, every piece of space debris, all of it packed with enough antimatter to sterilize a continent. The hegemony fleet was caught in a crossfire from every direction simultaneously. There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Ships that had seemed impossibly powerful moments before were being torn apart by weapons that shouldn't have existed, launched from positions that had been invisible right up until the moment they opened fire. "This is impossible," Zexathera snarled. "The energy requirements alone." "Oh, that's the beautiful part," Chen interrupted. "We didn't just hollow out the asteroids. We turned them into solar collectors. 50 years of soaking up stellar radiation, all stored in quantum batteries, all released at once. Every piece of matter in this system has been accumulating energy for half a century, just waiting for you to arrive." The flagship shook again as another wave of missiles found their mark. Zexathera watched her fleet, the pride of the hegemony, veterans of countless conquests, being systematically dismantled by weapons that had been hiding in plain sight. "You're insane," she whispered. "Probably," Chen agreed cheerfully. "But here's the thing about humans, Admiral. We don't just think outside the box. We set the box on fire and dance around the ashes. You came here expecting a conventional war between fleets. We gave you performance art." The tactical display showed hegemony casualties mounting into the thousands. Ships that had conquered star systems were being destroyed by modified mining equipment and weaponized garbage. It was humiliating. It was unprecedented. It was, Zexathera realized with growing horror, brilliantly effective. "You can't possibly have enough ammunition to destroy our entire fleet," she said, grasping for some tactical advantage. Captain Chen's smile became positively radiant. "Admiral, with respect, you're still thinking conventionally. We don't need ammunition." She gestured toward the view screen, where Earth hung like a blue jewel against the chaos. "Every piece of debris from every ship you lose becomes a kinetic projectile. Every explosion creates more shrapnel. Every destroyed vessel becomes a weapon against the others. We've turned your own fleet into our ammunition supply." It was true. Zexathera watched in fascination and terror as fragments from destroyed hegemony ships, accelerated by precisely timed explosions, tore through the formations of survivors. The humans had weaponized entropy itself. "What do you want?" she asked. Finally. Captain Chen stood up, smoothing down her uniform. "For you to take a message back to your empire. Tell them that humanity appreciates the offer, but we're quite happy being independent. And if they send another fleet..." Her smile turned absolutely predatory. "Well, we've got 11 more star systems we've been meaning to redecorate." As escape pods began launching from the dying hegemony fleet, Admiral Zexathera realized she was witnessing something unprecedented in galactic history. A species that didn't just refuse to surrender, but made the very concept of conquest seem quaint and obsolete. Humanity had answered the Empire's demand with a smile, and somehow that terrified her most of all.